Good morning, Facebook. Grace and peace to you all. Death, trials, suffering, they're all part of our reality in humanity. It's part of the fallen, broken world that we live in. Today I want to talk about the beautiful side of perseverance. Apostle Paul writes about it. James writes about it. And I remember when I first read this, I thought, man, I just don't get it. He says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." He also says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." So what I've seen and what I've experienced in my own life and in the life of many who truthfully have that peace of God within them is that they've gone through suffering and trials in their life, death, all the different things that part of our human condition. And yet through those trials, through that suffering, the beautiful side of persevering through those things and becoming more deeply rooted in the love of God that changes us through those trials, through those circumstances, through that suffering. And that is the beautiful side of what perseverance does. As we go through what we're going through, and I was thinking of this, that the flesh wants that trial, wants that suffering to be taken away in a moment, but we will not grow in that, right? And that's the beautiful side of perseverance. It's just, Apostle Paul wanted the thorn in his flesh to be taken away, and yet God told him, "My grace is sufficient for you." Through this process, it's about keeping you humble. It's about keeping you in this place. So the reality of it is we do not like to suffer. I don't like to suffer. It's not part of what I want in my life. But I'm saying that there's beautiful growth through that in my life, to where I've lost things in my life. I've suffered. I've created hardships in my own life. And yet through that, I've become more and more dependent on him and his love in my life that set me free. That is the beautiful side of perseverance. And that's what he's writing about. Through the process, through the struggle, something beautiful could take place. Because the reality of it is you are going to suffer. You are going to have death in your life. You are going to have people you love that are going to be taken away early. But it's about becoming transformed and changed through the process, so you can be an agent of that love, an agent of his grace, an agent of his mercy wherever you go. That's the beautiful side. We become more dependent on him through the suffering, through the struggle, and we're set free from that bondage, the bondage of self, because that's at the root of all of our struggle. I am my own. When you are stripped away of everything, we come back down to that root, and in that somebody can be transformed and changed when we reroot ourselves in him rather than being rooted in self, right? Because that's our biggest struggle, is that root being in self. But the love of God sets us free from that. Now we reroot ourselves in the beauty of him, and it sets us free to be an expression of the love, grace, and mercy that we've received in him. May God bless you. If you're going through suffering, we're supposed to take our petitions and our prayers to him and be his more fully, and just trust him with our entire life. Suffering, struggles, successes, everything, just be his. May God bless you and set you free from the bondage of self. May he give you comfort through the process of all the trials and sufferings that we go through, because he will comfort us in those trials, in that suffering. But it doesn't mean he's just going to remove them from our lives. That's not a reality of what the Christian life and the walk is. May God bless you, and I love you all.